Since being appointed Prime Minister of St. Vincent and the Grenadines in November of 2025, Dr. the Honorable Godwin Friday has chosen his son to serve him as an aide and as an advisor. Now, you note I said him and not the country. That is because he has not been elected by anyone, nor was he appointed by the state. Before this period, however, I had never seen his son featured anywhere, not with his dad during the opposition years, not during the election campaign, which leads me to make a simple conclusion. The young gentleman was somewhere living his life and gainfully employed. However, since his dad has taken office, he has decided to give up that employment and come to be with his dad. That has raised a number of questions across St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And since Dr. Friday loves to talk about openness and transparency, he should answer those questions. The first question was regarding the payment of his son, and he was quick to respond that his son is not being paid by the state. But think about that. He never said that his son isn't being paid, just that his son is not being paid by the state. Now, that response opens up an even bigger can of worms. If he is being paid, who is paying him? And I would like to know, what role exactly are you preparing your son for in the future? As a matter of fact, I'd come direct and ask you, Dr. Friday, are you preparing your son to lead the soon to be launched Citizen by Investment program? And if so, the second question I'm going to ask you directly is whether or not your son is being paid by individuals or entities associated with the selling of passports. You see, this is important because the last thing we would want to happen as Vincentians is for the person in charge of such a critical department to be in the pockets of anyone and those individuals have an advantage over him because, as the Americans would say, they were engaged in pay for play. Your party and its members and supporters have for years criticized the involvement of Camilo Gonzalez, who was twice elected in parliament, criticized involvement in government. Your party and its supporters continue to criticize Storm Gonzalez, a young businessman. I am not here to defend either Camilo or Storm because they can both defend themselves. The point I'm raising is the criticisms and the questions were asked then. So, where's the energy now? Why aren't they being asked now? And more so, in the light of these questions, why aren't they being answered? Dr. Friday, it is not putting you in a good light with you dodging these very important questions. Tell us if your son is being paid, tell us who is paying your son, and tell us what you're preparing him for. I'll see you next class.